Kalia Shaw was a graduate student at George College and State University in the U.S. Just like any other average girl, Shaw had dreams and hopes to achieve big things in her life. She was beautiful and ambitious and had many things to look forward to. However, all of this was destroyed in 2014. Before we begin with this horror but real-life story, make sure to stick till the end. Khalilah struggled with depression, so she went to the doctor. She had been prescribed bipolar lamotrigine called Lamictal by her doctor, who had written the wrong dose for her, and even her pharmacist had not picked it up when she'd come to buy the medicine. Hoping it would maintain her bipolar disorder, she had been taking the drug for a few weeks before she felt her skin burn as if it was on fire. Shaw was in excruciating pain for a while as blisters started to form. But the burns weren't just external, they had turned internal too. Khalilah Shaw's organs started to get damaged and deteriorate before her skin and develop blisters. So technically, she had been burnt inside out. These painful symptoms led to the diagnosis of Stevens-Johnson syndrome, a very rare skin disorder that occurs due to incorrect dosage or incorrect medication usage. Her condition was so serious that she had been in a 5-week medically induced coma as her skin slowly peeled off. The sweat glands had melted. Her skin to this day remains permanently scarred and is losing a big chunk of her vision as well. "I would love to have my vision back," she stated longingly, and she'd also strongly believed her fingernails might not even grow back. Lamictal, lamotrigine, is a prescription drug that's used to treat epilepsy and bipolar disorder. The drug comes in different oral forms. It's usually taken once or twice per day. Lamictal is used to treat certain kinds of seizures in adults, and some children with epilepsy, partial seizures in adults, and some children with epilepsy who have received specific medications in the past. Bipolar disorder in adults. The active ingredient in Lamictal is lamotrigine. An active ingredient is what makes a drug work. So in this case, lamotrigine. Lamictal belongs to a group of drugs called antiepileptics. It's available as 4 different types of oral tablets. 2 severe complications, Stevens-Johnson syndrome and toxic epidermal necrolysis, occur in only 0.04% of people, or 1 in every 2,500 taking lamotrigine. Stevens-Johnson syndrome is a rare and possibly severe reaction to lamotrigine. Stevens-Johnson syndrome, SJS, is a severe mucous membrane reaction in which patients experience severe changes of the skin and mucous membranes. It is a side effect of improper medication and has symptoms such as fever, chills, sore throat, cough, and skin that becomes painfully red and blisters. Then the outermost layer of the affected skin tissue dies, slows off, and starts to regenerate after a few days. The disease is caused by either types of these medicines such as epilepsy medicines, antibiotics, and anti-inflammatory painkillers. Stevens-Johnson syndrome is a severe condition that often requires hospitalization. Management of this disease involves elimination of the cause, wound care, pain control, and prevention of sequelae as skin heals, as it has no cure. It may take some time to several weeks or even months to regain strength. There is a more severe form of this condition known as toxic epidermal necrolysis, TEN. It affects an area that is larger than 30% of the total body surface area, and the mucous membranes are also severely affected. If your condition was due to a particular drug, then you'll have to stop using that medication and all similar drugs for the rest of your life. You're more likely to get Stevens-Johnson syndrome if you've had it before after taking a certain medicine. You're more likely to get it again if you take that medicine again or other similar medicines you have a weakened immune system, for example, from having the condition like HIV or AIDS. A close family member has had Stevens-Johnson syndrome. Sometimes your genes can mean you're at higher risk of getting it. Stevens-Johnson syndrome is treated in hospitals, mostly in an intensive care unit. Without treatment, the symptoms can become life-threatening. If the Stevens-Johnson syndrome is being caused by a medicine you're taking, the medicine will be stopped. It may take you weeks or even years to fully recover from the diseases, and takes your skin a while to heal as well. For bipolar disorder or depression, the doses should be increased in intervals to ensure the side effects are not debilitating. For a syndrome so severe, the dose must have to be very off-putting for the reactions Khalilah experienced. "I didn't have to have people staring at me or wondering why I looked different," she said. 3 years ago, my life changed forever." She revealed she felt as if she had lost someone so close and dear to her, even though she had never experienced that before. To make matters worse, the doctors revealed she might have to go through it again as there's possibilities of relapsing. Shaw is now suing GSK, GlaxoSmithKline, the manufacturer of Lamictal, for inadequate advertising of the risks involved. The company has also been sued for similar cases previously as well. Despite what happened to her, the student has been on the road to recovery ever since. Her skin has been growing back, and she can also now see with sunglasses, although not as the same as before. Khalilah hopes to resume her studies in the future at her university and seems hopeful for the near future. This did not have to happen. This was not just some sort of fluke in my opinion. This happened as a direct result of somebody's error, she added. Medication-related errors are responsible for 5% to 41.3% of all hospital admissions and 22% of readmissions after discharge, if we talk on a global scale. As the saying goes, sometimes the curse is worse than the disease. There has been an increase in the said phrase, creating a concern worldwide. But what does this phrase mean? As it suggests literally, when the treatment of the disease is worse than the actual disease itself. Something that is backed up by Khalilah's terrifying battle with Stevens-Johnson syndrome. Khalilah Shaw's case serves as a sobering reminder of the importance of accuracy and vigilance in healthcare. It highlights the need for an organized system and proper education to ensure patient safety and prevent such tragic events from occurring in the future. In 2019, Kalia Shaw received $1 million as a settlement from the state after her trial ended. According to her attorney, she is still dealing with a wide array of problems, like loss of vision and skin issues from the burns. Her attorney has also filed lawsuits against the pharmacy and the pharmacist for their negligent mistake towards the dosage. In a timeline similar to Shaw's, another woman had also sued GSK after her husband committed suicide after taking a generic version of Paxil, an antidepressant. The woman received $3 million from the firm as compensation. Shaw is not the only person affected by this medication. Another woman named Charlotte Gilmer also reported she was burned from the inside out due to the medicine she was taking for her depression in 2023, which was in fact Lamictal. In fact, many similar stories of individuals taking this medication and experiencing extreme side effects often surfaces on social media platforms every now and then. The scariest part about it is that it burned me from the inside out. So all the burns on the outside were because my insides were so burned that it started to manifest on the outside of my skin, Charlotte revealed. Not only that, but the blistering in her digestive tract was so bad to the point that she needed to be hooked up to a feeding tube in the hospital. The doctors initially put her on steroids but stopped the medication after it didn't seem to help her or make any progress in her condition. So they stopped them. And then it just got worse and worse until there was one night it got so bad I pretty much lost my vision, she remembered. Her vision had worsened to the point where she had to beg the doctors to put her back on steroids. Although Charlotte has now recovered, she still experiences symptoms and has sunburn-like scars on her skin long after she had been discharged. A lot of us have had incidents of eating the wrong pills because we thought they were candies. And as silly as that may have looked at the time, it could take a serious, dark turn that could affect you for your entire life if it goes wrong. Sometimes, even when we are being cautious, the professionals we encounter that make a mistake so serious it's either harmful in the long term or it turns fatal. Children do not comprehend the potential dangers associated with consuming medications. They are not aware that taking too much medicine can make them sick or be life-threatening. Medication mix-ups happen far too often by doctors and pharmacists, and they can either look alike or sound alike. Although there are many factors as to why these errors occur, such as 1. Prescribing errors. 2. Failure to prescribe or administer a medication. 3. Someone receiving a medication too late or too early. 4. A patient receiving a drug not authorized for them. 5. Improper use of a medication. 6. Wrong dose prescription. 7. Administration errors. 8. Failure to take into account a patient's medical conditions or potential drug interactions. 9. Not following proper prescribing rules for a medication. Other measures can minimize errors related to dosage resemblance in look-alike medication pairs and sound-alikes too. Such approaches entail prescribing and labeling medication with both brand and generic names, writing the indication or purpose of the prescribed medication on the prescription or medication order, and setting up the computer selection screens in a manner that would not allow two look-alike names to follow each other. The FDA receives more than 100,000 reports every year that are associated with medication errors. The numbers are 5 to 6 times higher than the past 2 decades due to a better data and report system. As we reflect on Khaliah's case, or even Charlotte's, let's remember that every patient deserves the highest standard of care. It's up to all of us, healthcare providers, administrators, pharmacists, and the public to work together to create a safer healthcare environment. Thank you for joining us today. Have any real-life horror stories you want to share with us? Comment down below. If you found this video informative, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.